Good morning, tribe. Does this Sam's Club look familiar? It should. Really, which way are we going? We're going this way. This is the Sam's Club we slept in about a week ago. Yes, this is the Sam's Club we slept in a week ago. And now we are heading over to Planet Fitness just like we did a week ago.
Turn right onto East Butler Avenue.
So we can
then
get in.
Continue straight onto East Huntington Drive.
We want to get in a workout and take a shower. Oh, sorry about the sun. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, April the 29th.
Continue straight onto East Huntington Drive.
And I'm afraid if I drive by that other Walmart, I might go ahead and stop there. Apparently getting yogurt in this town is a problem yesterday. The Walmart that I did my pickup order from did not have any Fage yogurt. And the Sam's Club did not have any plain Greek yogurt. Usually I can get the Sam's Club brand. But no, none of that. So, we're going to go get our stuff done. And this is we're still in errand mode, so we still have to do laundry and get propane today. And then once we do all of that, I think we're heading out of town. I think. We're going to find out. It's kind of going to depend on how late it gets. But we'll see. Sure how far it is to our next town with a Walmart. I think that's probably Holbrook, but I haven't looked. I haven't really figured out exactly what we're doing. But I think we've still got another day or two or three before we're out of Arizona.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Well, the first time I was here, there were a few vans in the parking lot when I pulled in. And when I pulled in this morning, there was nobody. But now we've got one here on our right, we've got one straight ahead of us, we've got one over here on our left. Oh, and another one over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us using Planet Fitness. Pretty cool, huh? And gotta figure out how to get around where it wants me to be, which is going in the other direction. Van life, guys. So my plan is to strip the bed, get the laundry in, make breakfast, and then finish up the laundry. I gotta get propane. I gotta see if I can figure out what's going on with my slide. I'd really like to be able to use my slide. Especially because yesterday turned out to be kind of a major house reset in that I took the sofa out a few months ago. Is this going to be in the same shopping center with Walgreens? I don't know, I think it's going to be past there. Well, we'll find out. Anyway, I took my sofa out a few months ago and switched to a zero gravity lounger, and I was so proud of myself because I got such a good deal on it for $34. But about 3 weeks ago, I noticed that it was kind of falling apart. You know, everything had loosened up, so got out a screwdriver, tightened up what I could, and it was better for about a week. But not what I would call good under any circumstances. And I tried to tighten it up again a few nights ago, and again, better, but it wasn't staying tight. And when I walked into Sam's Club yesterday, they had their zero gravity loungers on sale, $20 off for 60 bucks. And since I had originally thought I was going to be paying close to $100, I decided to go ahead and get theirs. Now, the issue is, it's bigger. And so that actually makes it slightly more difficult for me. In that, oh, this is going to be a pain in the butt. Guess I'm going to park over here in this empty lot. Slightly more difficult in that, because it takes up more room, I have to manipulate it more when the slide's in and I have the chair out. Well, this laundromat got very high ratings. It doesn't look like it's in a great parking lot area, but you know, whatevs. We're going to deal with it. We are finally finished at the laundromat. Yay for that. It is 11:15 in the morning. I don't even remember what time we got here. I think it was before 9 though, probably about 9. But we have accomplished very many things. Well, for whatever reason, I thought the Tractor Supply was on the way out of town, but apparently I have to backtrack a little. Or, yeah, I do. But that's okay. Ooh, this might scrape. Oh, and there's a train. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to be waiting for the train, but I think I'll talk to you while we are. It's been a really busy morning. Between the workout and... so I can't go straight. Wonder how long the train's going to be. Well, fortunately nobody's behind me yet. Between the workout, the shower, the massage, I'd like to go back for another massage. That was awesome. And then coming over here to do laundry. I mean, this wasn't just doing laundry. I changed the bed. Oh, that's interesting. What happened to the train? Oh, it's just right by the tracks. I see. So they had to manually switch it. Right by the crossover. So I had to change my bed, and I changed back to my winter blanket because I looked at the weather forecast last night, and it's still going to be pretty daggone chilly for at least the next week or so. Which meant I had to, you know, wash all of the other bedding so I could put it all away. And I was up to 4 total layers over the past week. So yeah, that wasn't really working for me. But you know, the washing, the drying, the folding. I made breakfast, I did the dishes. Tried to figure out what on earth I'm going to do, because when I got up to the Grand Canyon last Sunday, one Sunday, I couldn't get my slide out. So I ended up having my slide in while I was there, and then last night when I was in Sam's Club, when I googled for it, it seems most likely that my motors are out of sync on the slide, so I might have been slightly off level when I brought it in or took it out. So our next stop is going to be at Tractor Supply, which I wish I had realized it was backwards. We would have done that. Well, we wouldn't have because we were much earlier. We're going to get propane, and then I'm going to find a level parking lot before I leave town and see if I can get my slide working properly. And if I can, awesome. And if I can't, I'm going to look for a mobile tech before I leave town, because I don't want to not be able to use my slide. That would just be kind of awful. Wonder what this big parking lot on the left is. Oh, something industrial. So, that's my plan. And then I've scouted a Forest Service road location, which I would like to be able to just go park for a few days. And I say that now because I'm exhausted. But my backup is the casino at Twin Arrows. And it kind of depends on how much stopping I do along the way, assuming that I'm actually leaving town today. Please tell me this is an overpass and I'm not going to have to sit here and wait for the train when I make my turn up here. The street system here is kind of weird. I don't quite have it dialed in. And one of the things I told you I was doing, I think I told you I was doing basically an entire reset of my house with my new purchases and changes and stuff yesterday. And one of the things, oh yeah, because I told you I got the new Zero Gravity Lounger. One of the other things that I got is a cast iron frying pan. And I used to have one that was 10.5 inches with almost straight sides that were 2 inches deep, so it held a lot of stuff. And when I sold my house a few years ago, I just decided that I really could not handle that cast iron frying pan anymore. It was just too heavy, too hard for me to work with. So it went in the estate sale along with almost everything else and got sold. But I saw this Lodge cast iron 9-inch pan with sloped sides that are fairly shallow, so it's not terribly heavy. And I picked that up at Walmart yesterday, and I used that this morning, and lo and behold, I made some awesome scrambled eggs this morning. Temperature is only 64 degrees outside at 11:30 in the morning. Interesting looking Tractor Supply. Well, I'm not seeing propane yet. I did call yesterday though. She said left side of the building. I think maybe they mean down here at the end. Hopefully. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Now you can wait, dude.
Head west.
I seem to still have...
Exit the parking lot toward Northeast Street.
Hopefully I got this right now. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so this worked out pretty well. I was below a quarter of a tank on propane,
Then at the next light,
which means I probably would have been okay again, okay for a couple more days. But I just didn't feel comfortable with that. So now I got a full tank propane, full freshwater tank, empty black tank, full propane, I said that twice already, plenty of groceries, and I pulled over where it was level, ran my slide out, and it went out just fine and came in just fine. I don't know why it wouldn't go out when I was at the Grand Canyon. But I wasn't going to mess around with it up there and have to pay for a, potentially have to pay for a mobile tech to come to the Grand Canyon. Our next stop is going to be at Walnut Canyon, where I'm hoping I'm not too tired to do the hike with all the stairs, because I've done the rim hike before. And I'd like to do the other one. I forget what it's called. And hopefully Mr. Kit will settle himself down a little bit. I know he's had a stressful day because he's had to be by himself multiple times. And that is not what Mr. Kit likes. So we're going to try and stay on the historic Route 66 alignment if we can. Not sure exactly how that's going to work out. We're going to cross over the freeway. And Google seems to think that it's the visitor center is right on the other side of the freeway here, but it's not. No, we haven't arrived. It's 3 miles away. See the sign? It's 3 miles away, kid. There's your sign, Walnut Canyon National Monument. Oh, it does say it's closed. Ranger Cabin Road. Where are we going, Kit? Let's go this way. What are we going to go see? What did the sign say? The sign said, Puebloan structures, 335 feet. Well, I wanted to do the hike down into the canyon. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, man. My legs are a little shaky. Walnut Canyon was a temporary home. Around 1250 CE, people began to migrate away, settling again in the surrounding region. These were Hopi people. But, oh, not just Hopi, also Fort McDowell, Yavapai, Havasupai, Hopi, Hualapai, Kaibab, Band of Paiute, Navajo, San Carlos Apache, San Juan Southern Paiute, Tonto Apache, White Mountain Apache, Yavapai Apache, Yavapai Prescott, and Zuni. That's a lot. So it was a popular destination. And I have been here before. I looked it up. I was here February 10th, 2018. And I have no recollection of there being Puebloan structures here. I wonder if I just missed this part. I'll have to go back and look at my pictures more carefully. Come. And my legs are feeling weak because I had a very intense workout this morning. And then up and down the steps in and out of Henry a few times. Walking back and forth to get the laundry and so on. All right, so this looks like it goes off into the woods quite a bit. Let's see what's over here. We have a structure that's covered. I bet it's going to tell us what it is. Kit, leave it. Leave it. Housing styles on the rim of Walnut Canyon were different from those within cliff alcoves. In-ground pit houses like this one were widely used over long periods of time. They vary in size and shape. They were round, oval, square, rectangular, or T-shaped. Construction techniques were dependent on materials at hand. Rooms might have served several different purposes over time. So if you look at the picture here, it shows, the stone wall structure here covered with timbers and probably thatch. Sustainable housing. Oh, the Box Canyon Pueblos at Winslow National Monument, where we were a few days ago, were built on the rim and within a small canyon. Both areas were utilized just like at Walnut Canyon. See, these look like normal sized rooms to me, but in a lot of the places that I've been to, there have been, I don't know, the rooms seem like really small. In fact, even at Wupatki, the one room there seemed pretty small, although the other part of it was pretty huge, so it might have just been my perspective at that moment. All right, so we're going to keep wandering through the woods here, because why not? It's pretty. Or maybe I should just go back and go to the visitor center. They're having a picnic. There's more trash cans over there. So I wonder if we're just in the picnic area. Maybe. Surprising number of people here for a weekday. I seem to recall that it wasn't very busy when I came here in February, but not the case today. It's plenty busy. Well, Mr. Kitster is not allowed on the island trail, so we won't be doing that. But she said the reason they don't let even service dogs on the island trail is that it's dangerous. And my thinking is, if it's dangerous for them, it's dangerous for me, knowing how I feel about heights. I stopped at the RV and left my shirt behind, which had my microphone clipped to it, so hopefully the wind won't be too bad. So these are known as the Sinagua people, S-I-N-G-U-A, which archaeologists have given them that name to indicate that they are people that lived primarily without water. Sinagua means without water. And that's always been, one of the most difficult things, right, has been water. Especially for nomadic people. It's one of my biggest issues, is making sure that I can find water when I need to. So I did this trail when I was here in 2018, in part because at that point, I think I was afraid of the concept of all of the steps to go down, because I didn't have Kit then. Look at these pretty little daisy-like flowers. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. And look out across the canyon. So even though I've been here before, and I said this when we were in the Grand Canyon, it's like, for me at least, and maybe for you as well, doing these things at different seasons in my life has a different impact. I remember it differently. I have almost no recollection of having been here before, although when I looked at the pictures that I took then, it was funny. It was February 10th of 2018, and I was wearing full-on winter clothing. It were chilly. Look, there's another puppy for Kit to see. I bought the Route 66 Easy Guide, and in the intro stuff it says, you know, if you're going to do it leisurely, you should plan on spending 2 weeks to do Route 66. That doesn't seem all that leisurely to me. I'm spending more like 2 months by the time I get to St. Louis. And I'm pretty excited. Hopefully it's going to work out for us. I've got a friend in Fort Wayne that I was going to kind of like detour from St. Louis to Fort Wayne to go visit with her for a few days. And when we were talking the other day, she says, I had a thought, if this is of any interest to you, which is that she'll come meet me in St. Louis and we'll hang out in St. Louis together. And then that way she gets a road trip, which she hasn't had for a really long time. And I save about 10 hours of driving that way, which, you know, based on the price of fuel this year, I'm okay with. All right, let's take a look back across the canyon. Sorry about the wind, guys. You can just barely see the rooftops of the visitor center up there. That's where the island trail starts from. All right, the audio is going to be terrible, but I'm going to see if we can zoom in enough to show you the cliff dwellings. Look at that. There they are. Oh, there's actually quite a few of them. There's the visitor center. And apparently only about 500 people lived here at one time. Sorry, about 200 people. He said there were 300 cliff dwellings, but they also needed extra space to store food and water and stuff. What do you think, Kit? Pretty nice place? Are you glad we came? The wind's picked up quite a bit as you get down near the canyon. This is, of course, the end of the line. What you got, a little ooey? You got what you doing? What you doing there, huh? But it's still at the moment, and you can see the cliff dwellings on the opposite side of the canyon. It would be kind of cool to do the island trail, but it's I think it's like 300 steps straight down, and you know, that would just mess with my fear of heights. So we won't. Right, Kit? Because if it's not safe for Kit, it's not safe for me. Alright, I think we're going to get back to Henry. Do a little bit of driving. We're not doing a whole lot of driving today. In fact, I'm thinking we're stopping at the casino, which is probably only 25 minutes up the road, maybe. But we'll see. I may decide to go a little further. We'll see. We are saying goodbye to Walnut Canyon. We've been here for about an hour and a half. We did the walk down to the Overlook Trail, to the viewpoint. We walked around the Puebloan ruins. We sat and gazed out over the canyon. That was fun. And you know, here's something that's funny to me. I kind of recall that when I visited in 2018, I thought that hike to the viewpoint was, you know, not strenuous, but a thing. Yeah, not so much. I mean, although my hips are pretty sore after my workout today. So for the rest of today, we've got a couple of quirky stops. We're going to drive through some forgotten stuff. Probably not going to be doing a whole lot of walking around. You may be getting this view. of whatever it is that we can see. Well, we're going to visit an abandoned trading post. I think an entirely abandoned city. And we might end up at a Meteor tonight. We'll see. We'll see what happens as we get there. We are going to end up having to get onto I-40 though, because there's no way to really be able to avoid that from this location. And I don't want to backtrack toward Flagstaff to avoid it. So there you go. So I'm not going to show you a whole lot of the road. I'll pick you up when we get to see something interesting. How about that?
Take exit 211.
And we're going to get off here and see what we can see. And why are we getting off here? Well, I mean, we have to follow the song, right? So in the song, the appropriate phrase would be,
At the next stop sign, turn left.
Gallup, New Mexico.
At the stop sign, turn left onto Townsend Winona Road, Winona.
Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona. Well, we want to not forget Winona, so how about that? So we're gonna not forget Winona. Shooting range. I thought it might have been forest camping. I was reading the sign off to the right.
In a quarter mile, turn right toward Fire Road 775.
So we'll go see what we can see. It still has a sign. I have no idea what's in Winona, if anything. What do you think we're going to see? I think we're going to see an historic Route 66 sign right up here. See it? Nope, me either. That wasn't a Route 66 sign. That was a phone down, buckle up sign.
Turn right toward Fire Road 775, then immediately turn right onto Fire Road 775.
Not quite, guys.
Head toward North Jobe Road. Take your next right onto North Jobe Road.
I think we're going to see an old alignment bridge up here. So that'll be cool. Yeah, I wanted to take this out of Flagstaff, Townsend Winona Road, but we would have ended up having to backtrack one way or the other. So I decided to go to Walnut Canyon first. Toward Flagstaff at the moment. We're going to be backtracking. And look right here. See right here where it says road closed? That's a piece of the old alignment right there. Coconino County is celebrating the 100th anniversary. So that whole piece of road has been bypassed. And I'm glad they left it standing. You know, left the bridge standing. I think we're probably going to be turning around up here because I'm pretty sure that was basically all of Winona that we're going to see. So I'm going to have to do a little U-turn kind of thing here. I'll do it right here in front of the mailboxes. you're going to be able to say that we did not forget Winona. One of the interesting things about this entire travel season for me is I did a rough calculation before I ever started that said basically if I drive 27 miles a day, I should be able to get to see everything that I want to see. Now, some days I'm not going to drive at all. There's our ridge. And some days I might drive a lot more than that. Today is not going to be a long driving day. And we've spent basically a week in Flagstaff. But we did do some driving and stuff because we were going to Sunset Crater and do Hotkey and all the other stuff we did. But that's basically a week of not moving. On the other hand, my friend that I was planning to go see in Fort Wayne is thinking about coming to meet me in St. Louis instead. I haven't looked to see exactly how much mileage that'll come off, but it might be close to 500 miles, which gives me an even bigger cushion. Now I think I have to tell him to remove this stop. Yeah, we gotta get back on the freeway again. Heading toward ABQ. Alright, so we've only got 9 miles to our next destination. Well, the highway sign just said that the exit was in half a mile, but Google said it was 1.2 miles, and I think Google was correct. Maybe the one fell off in front of the half mile. Yeah, because this is, I mean, you know, we're not at the exit yet. So I had originally thought that perhaps I would just stay here tonight. But I don't really love casinos.
In half a mile, take exit 219 toward Twin Arrows.
So I'm going to look for a different landing place for the evening. But we are going to get off here and check out the 2 Arrows. Now there's only one trading post. It's got a couple other people parked there right now.
Take exit 219.
Because why not? Let's just take a trip down memory lane. Oh, look, somebody's camped over there. Dumpster's down at the end of that road. Huh. It's tempting to just go park over there and stay. So here's my issue. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm starting to get hungry. But I think I'm going to wait a little while. When we stop down here, I'll take a look and see how much further I think we want to go today. So this is, you know, this is probably not the original road, but this was a very popular road. And this is the 2 Arrows trading post, which used to have gas pumps and, you know, convenience store and trading posts and all that stuff. And there used to be 2 arrows right here. See, right here. You can see the one square on the ground, and then you can see the other one right over there. And we're gonna just take a look. Well, if you ever plan to motor west or east, travel my way. Take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. I had no idea these were made from wood. And if you happen to find yourself in the area of Twin Arrows, come take a picture of my sticker. So this is where the other one used to be. There you have it. It was a beacon. That was a fun little stop. We didn't go walk over around the buildings to examine the graffiti up close because I'm sure that there's quite a bit of glass over there. I did put a sticker up on the Twin Arrow that remains though, so, you know, if you come by, take a photo. So I got a couple more things on the list, and I think we're going to end up today near, on this side of Winslow, and then we can do Winslow in the morning. But I'm getting kind of tired, but it's only 2:10 in the afternoon, and with the things I've got in mind, I think we've only got like another half an hour of driving, so it'll be fine. We're going to get off here and check out the ruins at Two Guns, which appears to be a popular place for people to just go live. Wow, look at the graffiti all over that former gas station. Not quite sure what the water tank's doing here. This is Two Guns. I imagine it looks different now than it did back in the day. This was a tourist attraction on Route 66, which was not uncommon because often travel stops would be designed to encourage people to take advantage of the time that they were spending. So it would be a destination, not just a quick gas and go stop. And this was established in the 20s, but it's now completely gone. Its heyday was probably in the 40s, and let me back up here a second. I want to make sure you see this. See up across the top here where it says mountain lions? Well, one of their features was a kind of bizarre zoo that featured mountain lions and bobcats. A lot of stonework went into the buildings here, and part of the reason that they're all defunct is a series of fires that destroyed them. I'm walking down here. I don't know if there's steps down here or not. Oh yeah, there are. We're waiting for Kit. So as I'm sure you can imagine, it would have been quite the thing back in the day. It's gotten all windy again today. So there was a motel and a gift shop, trading post, all that kind of stuff, and the zoo. And that bridge was part of the alignment. If I can get Kit to come, hey, come. We're gonna see if we can get a look at that. I don't know that we're going to walk far enough to see all of these ruins, but I would like to get a look at the bridge. Maybe we'll cross it, maybe not. We'll see how stable I think it is. And I'm sure I could have driven down in here, but this way I don't have the hassle of trying to figure out how to turn around and stuff like that. So I guess the stonework endures pretty well. Doesn't really look like I can get to it from this side. Let's get a little closer and see. Canyon's not super deep, but kind of deep. I guess to get to the bridge, I'm gonna have to walk back up this way, maybe. We'll give that a go. Whoops! Don't twist an ankle. We've had that experience before. And the wind is pretty fierce. It's at my back at the moment. Looks like I can get down here. And so what caused it to go away? Well, pretty much everything that killed Route 66 everywhere. That would be the interstate alignment. And I know a lot of people, oh, we just found a nickel. Look at that. A lot of people think that it's really nice and convenient to be able to travel all the way across the country and find a McDonald's or a Walmart or whatever. But I think there's a lot to be said for all the mom and pop stops that have gone by the wayside and been bypassed. Yeah, so you can see, I'm going to come out on the bridge. We might even cross it. Come. Looks like it's covered in gravel. I don't think it's going to fail from my weight. Now, Kit might knock it over, but not me. So see the ruins up over there? That's pretty cool. And I don't know if we can get up for a closer look at this or not, but we're going to go try. Kit, come on. His leash is 16 feet long, and he is at the end of it behind me, which is how he likes to spend most of his time. I guess we can get up in there. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to just show it to you through the fence. How about that? Cool. Can't leave it. All right. And I am hopeful that the spot I scouted on iOverlander is going to work, because then Kit will be able to run around loose, probably. Okay, so the bridge is not in great shape, as you can see. This side looks good. I wonder why this side looks bad. Oh, this must have been rebuilt at some point. This might be the original bridge side. All right. Well, I'm glad we came. I hope you are too. We're gonna get back up to Henry and keep going. That was fun. Glad we stopped here. It's kind of funny. I have had this site saved in my want to go list on Google Maps for probably at least 10 years, maybe more. And just never got around to stopping there. Let's see if we can get out of this bumpy parking area now. So, yeah, I'm glad we did. We had fun. We walked around, we saw stuff. told you about the history a little bit. Now I've also got Meteor Crater on my list, which is only 10 miles away. I haven't decided if we're truly going to stop there or not. I'm kind of thinking not. I've been there before and paid the fee to be able to be there. And I don't think I want to do that again today. It's already almost 3 o'clock. But a couple of things to know about it. Meteor Crater was formed by a meteor hitting the Earth, and it was a place that was used to train astronauts for quite a few years. I don't remember if they're still training there or not. I don't think so, but I'm not positive about that. What else? Meteor City, which is just to the east of Meteor Crater, was defunct for many, many years. That was another tourist travel on Route 66. It's a geodesic dome that has been reclaimed by, I think it's a family that wanted to preserve some of the Route 66 history and bring it back. Well, here it is, Meteor City. Probably let pretty much anybody stay, I would imagine. Well, it definitely looks better than it did 20 years ago when I came through this way, or even 10 years ago. So that's kind of cool. Here we are approaching Winslow, and we're going to have to backtrack to the place that I saw that might be possible to stay. So I want to double check it.
In half a mile, take exit 252 for Hipcoy Drive toward I-40.
I want to double check it on Onyx Off-Road and make sure it's actually public land and not something that somebody just added because they felt like it. Because, you know, I don't want to backtrack if I don't have to. Well, I don't want to backtrack if it's not going to get me a benefit. How about that? Look, we got little teepees up here on the right. Check it out. And actually, I think I'm going to just pull over right on the side of the road here as well. No, that's a pretty big drop off for me. Southwest Indian Art Center. Beautiful things to see. You'll love it. Beautiful souvenirs. Come visit. Well, I see a church right across the street here. So I'm going to pull up in there, consult my map, and then make a decision. Alright, we're going to go ahead and give it a go. And take a look at it, because it's only a couple miles. It's not much of a detour. And looking at it on the map makes it look okay. And it would be nicer to be out on land than in a parking lot, I think. Well, there are houses here. And the road's paved, which is actually a little bit surprising to me. Nice houses here. This is what they're talking about. And you know, I'm kind of don't think it's a problem. I think we're going to call this home tonight, Kit. Alright, well, we're going to see what we can do about getting semi-level. Hopefully, we're going to call this home tonight. I'm just kind of feeling for level. That doesn't feel very level. But I think... See anything behind me? No. I think if I go over this way I might be. Alright, so this is how this always goes, guys, is, you know, the trying to get level part is always the hardest part. But we'll figure it out.
Wake up with the sun in our